I made over $3 million in under 6 months on YouTube with less than 100,000 subscribers. No fancy editing, no expensive software, and no chasing the algorithm. Today, I will prove to you that having a smaller channel with fewer views is the best way to make more money. So the way I see it, there are two types of people who post content online. The first is the content creator, and they make their money from AdSense, from brand deals, from selling merchandise, or for selling low ticket products like $7 ebooks or $97 courses. They do anything for views. They're a slave to the algorithm, and so all of their content is extremely broad and typically has to do more with entertainment than anything else. In addition to that, they are competing with everyone else. So because they're trying to get as many views as possible, that's what the majority of people on these platforms are doing. That means you're competing with everybody else that's on this platform. And in order to compete, one of the ways that you'll have to do it is through high production value, meaning that you have to have really fancy editing, really well scripted videos, really good hooks, really good outros, one video leading into the other video, whatever you can do to hack the algorithm to just get that small bump of extra views. Now, all of that extra work is more time, but it's also more cost for you, eating into your margin as you're trying to make money creating content. And it's most likely a full-time job. If you are a content creator, you are spending a lot of time coming up with all the ideas, scripting, filming, editing, publishing, managing the comments, etc., etc. And because you're making such little money from it, you likely, number one, have to work in another job or have to make money elsewhere. And number two, you're not able to make enough money to hire somebody else to take some of this work off of your plate for you. So you're kind of a little bit in this like limbo period, and that's where a lot of people end up because they think that the content creator is who they want to be. They see all the big people like Graham Stephan or Mr. Beast, and they're like, oh, I want millions of views, tens of millions of subscribers. That's how I get rich. But in reality, that's the 0.0000001% of creators. And even those people are not making a lot of money. There's actually a lot of videos online. There's like a trend going on where people are saying, I have 1 million followers, I have 4 million subscribers, but I'm broke. And that's because they are following this strategy here, which is outdated and not what you should do. Instead, what I recommend doing is looking at becoming a contrepreneur. So what is a contrepreneur? This is somebody who makes money from high ticket, high margin products or services. So you are using content to sell your products and services versus creating content and then hoping that sometime in the future they're going to buy some product or service from an AdSense or from a brand deal, and you'll get a small piece of that action. And a entrepreneur only creates what drives sales. So they could have one person view their video, and that view makes them $10,000 plus. Where if you look at the content creator, they're going to have one view, and that person probably doesn't have 2 pennies to rub together, and so they have to sell them a $19 hoodie or something like that and hope that eventually they're going to buy. And the entrepreneur, they are typically creating content that is educational, that is value driven, and it's very, very specific. It's not broad. It's not appealing to millions of people. It's appealing to thousands or tens of thousands or maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And it's only about 1 to 4 hours a week, right? A great example is the videos that I create here. I don't do any scripting. I don't do any editing. I just do a little bit of research beforehand to find what would be a good topic idea. And based on what has also driven sales in the past, I turn on the video, I start writing, and I start drawing, right? Very, very simple. And so I can still be running my business while I use this to fuel it. And the best part is that because I'm not spending money on ads to show this video to other people, I have almost no cost to acquire a customer. And then once they come and become a client of ours, because of the way that I've set up my service-based business, that's already a high margin business. So it keeps me very, very highly profitable. And my dollar per hour when doing work like this is in the tens of thousands of dollars. And I know that might be insane to some of you people here, but if I make a video like this, and let's say we get 10 clients and I average $10,000 in profit per client, that's $100,000. And let's say it takes me 2 hours to shoot this video, then that means I make about $50,000 per hour. right? So that's how that math kind of checks out there. Now, let me break down why this works really well for me. So I create these types of videos here. So you can see how to build a landing page, how to create a Facebook ad, business was hard until I tracked these 12 numbers, why your content isn't making sales. So these are all videos that I've recently posted on my channel. You can see 2.3 thousand views, 1.7 thousand views, 4.3 thousand views, 3.3 thousand views. So by every sign and indication in the YouTube world, I don't get enough views on my videos. I actually can't tell you how many YouTube consultants reach out to me daily and tell me you should be getting way more views on your videos, et cetera, et cetera. But they don't know that I am actively trying to get the least amount of views on my videos possible. And I'm going to explain why that is in a second. So these really niche videos that I'm creating, well, they are attracting super high quality people. So I took a screenshot here. This is literally just from booked calls today using our attribution software. You can see this person went to my YouTube channel. This person went to my YouTube channel. Let's see. This person went to my YouTube channel. This person went to YouTube channel, YouTube channel, YouTube channel. So all of these people are visiting my YouTube channel either first or last before they book a call to speak with my team. And these aren't some like broke person that has no money and they're just wasting my team's time. You can see this person here is doing around $100,000 to $200,000 a month in their business. And they said that they want our help in helping them scale their business. Imagine if your calendar was filled with the top 1% of your industry or market, and they're literally saying, I want to work with you, right? That's the exact opposite of what the majority of people who create content, or really just the majority of people in business, see on their calendar every single day, because they're approaching this game totally wrong. And I'm going to finish this up by just showing you a little bit of math of why you should be focusing on getting the least amount of views possible. So let's say, for example, we have a YouTube video here, right? Or just any video, but I'm going to use YouTube as an example. So in this example, let's say that this is a million view video. I'm going to put 1 million right here. We'll put a million view. So that might seem really cool and really great, but here's the issue with this. The average click-through rate on YouTube, I think, is around 5%. So that means that when someone views your video, on average, 5% of them will actually click and watch the video. So when you have 1 million views, that actually means that you have 20 million impressions in order to get 1 million views. That is a lot of impressions. Now, why do we care about impressions? Because YouTube is very, very smart, and the algorithm is very, very smart. And so the algorithm only shows the video to people that they think might enjoy this. This might apply to this person. So if, for example, you like gardening, then the YouTube is going to show you an impression of a video that might be around gardening, right? Because they know that you like gardening. So if you were to create a content and you're saying, I want to get 1 million views, I want to get 1 million views, I want to get 1 million views, well, then you have to have 20 million people see that video, have that video be pushed to them. And here's some interesting statistics that a lot of people don't know. In the United States, less than 3 million businesses make over $100,000 in gross revenue. Less than 3 million businesses make over $100,000 in gross revenue. So if you were trying to sell something, let's say a higher ticket product or service, right? And you're trying to sell something for, let's say, $3,000, $5,000 a month, which is like on the higher ticket side, but definitely not on the highest side possible. Well, if you wanted to go out for somebody that's making $100,000 a year gross in their business, that's about $8,000 a month. And that's like on the really low end of being able to afford something that's $3,000 or $5,000. There's only 3 million people in the United States that can afford that. So if you're aiming for 1 million view video, then does that mean that you're reaching a third of the total people in your market? Probably not, right? Does that mean that if you're getting 20 million impressions, only 3 million of those people could even afford to pay for your products and services, right? Now, these are really large numbers, but I'm trying to show you that. That's why a lot of people brag, oh, I got 200,000 views on my video. I got 1 million views on my video. If you actually did the math and looked up how many people are in your industry or are qualified to be your client, you might be shocked at how little that number is. And you don't need a lot of people. For example, Alex Ramosi built a $100 million business selling gyms, and I think there's less than 130,000 gyms in the United States. So don't focus on getting this 1 million views right here. Focus on getting less views that are going to be way more qualified. So let's take this example to the other extreme. Let's say you make a YouTube video here, and let's say that we get 10,000 views, which is way more achievable if you're doing it the way that I'm talking about here. Well, still at that 5% rate that I was talking about earlier, click-through rate, I think that ends up being right around 200,000 views, right? So I'll put 200,000 views, or impressions, I'm sorry. Okay. So now 200,000 impressions. I told you earlier that there's 3 million people in the United States that make over $100,000 a year that run a business. So it's way more likely that if I make a video that reaches 200,000 people, that the vast majority of those people are going to be qualified to be able to afford something that's, let's say, $5,000 or $3,000 or something along those lines. So that's why I actually index more for videos that get 10,000 views than I do videos that get 100,000 views or 500,000 views or a million views, right? And then the final piece I kind of want to drive home here of why it makes way more sense to index more for these smaller viewed videos is because the person that does get that million views per their video that I was talking about earlier, the problem with this is they're now reaching a million people. The things that a million people have in common, it's going to have to be some really, really broad things, such as what I talked about earlier, like entertainment. So they're trying to laugh or cry. Another example of it would be sports, right? Politics. That's another great example of it as well. So these are all things that are just so broad, so huge, that you're getting this many views. So you have to be talking about super generic stuff. So then when you go to try to sell them something, well, not only do you have to find something that applies to the largest majority of your market, but you're also going to alienate a lot of your market when you sell that thing, because there's no way a million people all have this very common singular trait, unless you end up selling what a lot of people do with these with these channels here, let's say merchandise, or they try to sell food, like the Feastable stuff like that, right? So it's like, okay, or they do like a stand-up tour. They kind of go on tour somewhere and they're trying to sell tickets in different places. And I'm not knocking any of these people by any means. I think it's awesome. They have great channels. I'm just saying, what do you want to do? Because to get to this point here, that is a lot of work. And then you're going to be taking home very little money selling merch and food. And this is all stuff, by the way, that when the economy goes down or something happens, this is the first stuff to go, right? This is the stuff that people aren't going to be paying for. However, if you flip the script and go back to what we talked about here, where you're getting 10,000 views, but these are way more qualified people, you're solving this specific problem. Well, then you can probably find a problem that applies to 95% of these people or 90% of these people, and you can sell a high ticket product or service on the back of it. Something that even if the recession happens, even if people are making less money, they still want the thing that you're selling. And that's what puts you in the contrepreneur category versus the content creator category. Now, if you are a business owner that's looking to start using content to make more money, or maybe you're a content creator with over 10,000 followers or subscribers and you want to monetize that audience using high ticket products or services, I really recommend you guys go down below and learn how we can install a totally done for you end-to-end marketing system in your business in the next 7 days.